Welcome to the May 17th Council meeting. I'd like to ask you to stand and join Councilman Flores in the flag salute, please.
Good evening, everyone. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our first presentation this evening is recognition of the 2022 Hall of Fame award recipients. This prestigious award is presented to individuals who have made a major and lasting contribution to the development and progress of the city of Chino, and who have been outstanding examples of leadership and service in a manner that engenders honor and respect from a historical perspective for their participation in the community. Tonight, we will be inducting 2 new members into the City of Chino's Hall of Fame. The awards presented this evening will be on a permanent display in the Chino Community Building. At this time, I would like to call up the president of the Chino Valley Historical Society, Linda Flathers, and Vice President Steve Halstead, as well as any other members of the society present tonight to assist in the presentations. The first presentation recognizes Brenton G. Galbraith. Would the members of Mr. Galbraith's family please join me? Come on up. Okay, this evening we have from Texas, Marianne Schiller,
a great-granddaughter,
Jean
Shearhart,
also a great-granddaughter
from
Santa Rosa. Okay. And then we'll have you introduce everybody else in just a few minutes. I'd like to also ask Bobby Martinez, who is the second vice president. Chino, you're already here, to come forward. And Bobby's going to read the award.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the privilege of reading Mr. Brenton K. Galbraith's pretty much life story, biography, real quick, so bear with me. Brenton K. BK, as they call him, Galbraith, foremost merchant, builder, and civic leader, played an important role in the early development of Chino. He was born on April 3rd, 1852, near Salem, Ohio. He married Miss Martha Van Sink on September 30th, 1873. They had 4 children, sons Leslie, Albert, Enoch, Russell, and Omar. And unfortunately, Omar died at the age of 11, and daughter Ida Mae. Mr. Galbraith spent his early life as a millwright before coming to California. B.K. Galbraith came to Chino in 1894 after operating a bakery business in Pomona for a short time. He entered the general merchandise business when he purchased a retail shop from Constable W.J. Tebow, located on D Street in 1907. As business continued to prosper, B.K. and his sons built a concrete building on the corner of 6th and D Streets using cement bricks he made by himself. For years, B.K. Galbraith & Sons General Merchandise Store was the largest in town, and he continued as a prominent merchant until his retirement in 1918 when he and his sons sold the building. B.K. Galbraith and his wife Martha were active in the community. B.K. was at the forefront of incorporating the city of Chino. In 1905, he was elected as chairman of the organization to incorporate. Mr. Galbraith was elected as the first local president of the WCTU, and which is Women's Christian Temperance Union, as an early service project to keep alcohol out of the town. The WCTU built a drinking fountain on the corner of 6th and D Streets next to the Galbraith store. In 1895, BK was part of the group of businessmen who organized the Volunteer Fire Company No. 1. He became the first president and 2 years later was treasurer. In 1937, he was on the Chino Valley Pioneers Association Committee. In 1913, he built a 10-room family residence on Central Avenue with the same cement bricks he manufactured for the store. It was known as the largest and finest in town. In his retirement, he built an apiary in his attic to collect bees for their honey and was known as a keeper of bees. He also collected rocks and cacti. His cactus garden was one of the most noted in the Southland and was visited from all over. Mr. Galbraith was one of the first merchants to have electricity and installed an electric coffee mill. He hauled materials with his delivery truck to help build the Hoover Dam. In 1902, he developed an apparatus for saving fine gold. Brenton K. Galbraith died at his residence in Chino on October 28, 1940. So that's awesome.
Present this to the family. I don't know which family member would like to have this.
Who would like to hold this?
Why don't you both hold it together? Both hold it together. Yes. So we'll have you introduce yourself.
I'm Irma Jean Cheerhart, formerly Irma Jean Anderson. My mother, Irma, was BK's granddaughter.
I'm Mary Ann Schiller. We grew up in Ontario, and I now live in Texas, and I have very few memories of that house, and I don't remember my great-great-grandparents. Sorry.
Great-grandpa died before we were born.
Yeah, so this is
your family.
Yes, it is. This is my youngest daughter, April Stouffer, my eldest daughter, Allison Powell, and all your kids. We have Dylan, Owen, Caitlin, Charlotte, Mackenzie, and Aaron, the proud dad in the back.
Congratulations to this family and to the contribution that the Galbraith family made to our community. We're very grateful that you made the trip to come out and receive this award.
Thank you so much for all your hard work.
She wants a picture. Okay, next, we're going to recognize Alan, or Al, Phillips McCombs. I would like the family members of Mr. McCombs to come forward, please, and join us up here. I would also ask that Steve Halstead, first vice president, is here to join us and read the award. Oh, okay. Steve?
Thank you very much. We're here for Alan McCombs, but everybody, I believe in the city of Chino, knows him as Al. And Al was the Chino champion, owner and publisher, civic leader, respected community leader, and Chino historian. He was born on August 8th in 1929 in Oakland, California, growing up in Berkeley. He received his bachelor's degree in journalism from Stanford University in 1951, a master's degree in business administration from Harvard University in 1953. He served in the Navy Supply Corps from 1953 to 1956. Al married Gretchen Deckelman on July 11th in 1953. They had one son, Bill, in 1957. In 1956, Al and Gretchen purchased the Chino Champion and moved to Chino to start their new life. After 60 years of owning and publishing the Chino Champion, Al sold the newspaper but continued to write his Roll Top Roundup column. Al's service to the community began soon after he came to Chino. He was a dedicated member of the Chino Rotary Club from 1957 to 2021. He was a Chino Valley Unified School Board member for 10 years, serving as president multiple times. He served as a Chino Planning Commissioner and was a member of the past president of the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce and the Chino Valley YMCA. Al was an active member of the Chino Cultural Foundation and the Chino Valley Historical Society. Yeah, I'm sorry, thank you, yes, and he served on both executive boards. He also contributed to the community by serving on the Chino Valley Medical Center Board of Trustees. Al took the lead on the SR 60 Freeway Committee in the 1960s, helping to negotiate Chino's portion of the freeway to be designated below street level and to continue the keep the expanding community from being divided. As an active member of the Chino community, he received many awards. The Irwin Roads Community Service Award, the Community PTA Honorary Service Award, the Chino Valley Fire District's Community Service Award. In 1976, he was named Chino's Citizen of the Year. In 1998, he was recognized as Chino Valley Small Business Person of the Year. On June 9th, in 2014, he received the Spirit of Achievement Award, which honors outstanding citizens for their remarkable contributions to the city. Following his passing, Al was inducted into the California Press Foundation's Hall of Fame. Promoting education was very important to Al. He was involved with the organization that implemented the Head Start program in the city of Chino in the 1960s. It gave him pleasure to assist with the selection and presentation of the Irwin Roads Community Service Award and the PTA Honorary Service Award, which is presented to new teachers every year. Al passed on March 12th of 2021. His contributions to the Chino community are many, and his list of accolades is just the tip of the iceberg. He loved his city and the people in it and was dedicated to enhancing the quality of life for the entire community. As owner, publisher, editor of the Chino Champion, Al chronicled daily life in Chino for more than 60 years. With his deep, unparalleled knowledge of Chino and Chino's history, he provided insight through his weekly Roll Top Roundup column, where he enlightened us, entertained us, and taught us to appreciate Chino's rich history. Al, you're in our hearts. Thank you.
We have with us this evening Susan McCombs, which is Al's niece from the Sacramento area up by the bay, San Francisco, Kensington, actually, and Debbie Ramos, which was Al and Gretchen's longtime caregiver, and myself, who Al was like my dad. So we are like a little family here. So, yeah. And thank you for coming.
This is lovely. Great. You want me to say something?
Yes.
Oh. I was not prepared to say anything. I'm not the talker in the family. I can't believe you all do this when they're not here. Yeah, I feel like he is here, and that, and so appreciative. And I was telling Linda there was not one visit from Al where we didn't hear about the city of Chino, about the history, about current events. He loved this city, so proud of this city, and I am so pleased I get to be here to be with you all today. This is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Eunice.
Thank you all for being here. It's very important that we remember those in our community that added so much to our history. Okay, next we have a proclamation for Poppy Day, May 27th, 2022. I'd like to call up Erica Hernandez from the American Legion. Erica? Hi there. Yes, have your family come up as well.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm very appreciative and very grateful.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's tradition. Okay, and the proclamation reads, whereas America is the land of freedom, preserved and protected willingly and freely by citizen soldiers. Millions who have answered the call to arms have died on the field of battle. And whereas a nation at peace must be reminded of the price of war and the debt owed to those who have died in war. The red poppy has been designated as a symbol of sacrifice of lives in all wars. And whereas the American Legion Auxiliary is pledged to remind Americans annually of this debt through the distribution of the memorial flower. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim the 27th day of May 2022 as Poppy Day and ask all citizens to pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom by wearing the memorial poppy on this day.
Thank you. On behalf of the Poppy Chairman, Lannis Cordova, myself, Erica Hernandez, part of the committee, my daughter, Rebecca Avila, is part of the committee, junior auxiliary member, and our youngest junior auxiliary member, my other daughter, Samra Hernandez, and both of them in their poppy dresses. I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this proclamation. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to all the veterans. We appreciate everything you have done for us. Thank you. Poppy Day, with the support of Congress, May 27th, 2022, has been designated as National Poppy Day. So please wear your poppies all month long, and especially on the 27th, proudly. And thank you to all the veterans. We appreciate you. Thank you guys so much again.
You're welcome. Okay, next we have National Mental Health Awareness Month, which is May 2022. I'd like to call up Carrie Franco, Human Services Coordinator with the City of Chino, and Michelle Mcfarland, Board Member with the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And the proclamation reads, whereas on behalf of the citizens of Chino, we recognize the month of May 2022 as National Mental Health Awareness Month. The City of Chino, Chino Valley Unified School District, and Healthy Chino Coalition recognize that mental health issues can affect all people. Serious mental illnesses are more common than cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. And according to Mental Health America, or MHA, over 44 million American adults and 17 million young people report mental health conditions. Their statistics also show from January to September 2020, there was a 93% increase over the 2019 total number of reported anxiety screenings. Also, there was an increase of 62% over the 2019 total number of depression screenings. These screenings will moderate to severe symptoms of depression and anxiety have continued to increase throughout 2022 and remain higher than rates prior to COVID-19. And whereas misunderstandings exist about many mental illnesses and our social culture often wrongly imposes stigma on these conditions, the City of Chino recognizes the importance of addressing both mental and physical health concerns as being essential to everyone's overall health and well-being. And asking for help is a sign of strength and the first step towards achieving mental wellness. The City of Chino offers mental health services to youth, adults, and families, and the City of Chino partners with the National Alliance for Mental Illness, Pomona Valley, NAMI, to provide free support groups to educate, inspire hope, and decrease the stigmas surrounding mental health issues. And whereas the City of Chino encourages those struggling with their mental health to reach out to their support network, a friend, family member, teacher, or counselor. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim May 2022 as National Mental Health Awareness Month in the City of Chino and encourage each citizen to continue to be compassionate and understanding of the importance that mental health services provide.
Mayor Yaloa, members of the council, thank you very much for acknowledging the importance of mental health awareness through this proclamation. As you can hear from the statistics, now more than ever, it's very important that we become self-aware of our own mental health as well as those for others in our lives. It is my pleasure this evening to introduce Michelle Mcfarland, and I would like to just mention that we here at the City of Chino offer support and counseling services at all the schools in the Chino Valley Unified School District, as well as at our agency providing individual, family, and couples counseling. It is through our partnership with National Alliance on Mental Illness that we're able to additionally support our families with these services. So again, thank you, Michelle Mcfarland, for being here, board member from NAMI.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I really want to say thank you on behalf of the board. NAMI, we are a Pomona Valley affiliate, and we teach classes to schools to really get them to understand and get familiar with the signs and the coping skills for mental illness. We also provide classes for family members that have mental illness or any individual that's struggling with mental illness. If you want to know more about NAMI, you can go to the website, NAMI, N-A-M-I-P-V, PomonaValley.org, and you can see all of the list of classes that NAMI offers. And if anyone desires a presentation on mental illness, you can reach out to NAMI, and we will certainly do that for you. So thank you so much for this. We really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you being here, and it is really important that we get counseling to people who are hurting. Yes. You know, and we've got to release the stigma. You know, and a lot of it just anxiety that can, you know, manifest as something even more. So we need to listen to each other, and we need to be compassionate. Thank you for being here this evening. Okay, next we have National Public Works Week, May 15th to the 21st. I'd like to call up Maria Frazier, the city's CIP Engineering Manager, Ben Orozco, the city's Assistant Public Works Services Manager, and Ruben Valdez, the city's Environmental Coordinator. It's a busy night tonight. And the proclamation reads, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency management, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the citizens of Chino. These infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public work professionals who are federally mandated first responders and the engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. It is the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the city of Chino to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works first responders and public works programs in their respective communities. And now, therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby designate the week of May 15th through the 21st, 2022, as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life.
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of the Public Works Department, we would like to accept this award. Thank you and Council for continuing to support us throughout the year and all the projects, maintenance we do throughout the year. It's really appreciated that you guys support us. But I'd also like to thank Chino PD. They showed appreciation and gave us a nice big barbecue for the entire department, and that was really great, lifted up spirits, appreciate that. And our residents, thank you for being our eyes and ears out there, reporting concerns and issues to us, and keep it up, report it City of Chino website. Thank you. Really appreciate it, and we do a lot of hard work, and it's appreciated that we get recognized.
I just want to basically say the same thing as Ben. I mean, our staff is the unsung heroes, especially the guys that are in the streets during the winds, during the floods, out with PD, with their help as well. So thank you for recognizing these guys because they really deserve it. So thank you, Council, for also always backing us up in all the projects that we do to continue to make our infrastructure better.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Mayor and council members, for the support and the resources that you provide to the department that allows us to inspect, to repair, and maintain our city's infrastructure. Thank you.
Well, what you do is very, very important. I mean, everywhere we go in the city, you can't go anywhere without driving on the streets that these people keep up, right? So we need their support. We need them to stay healthy. So when they're out there working on the roadways, don't run over them. Be careful. Okay, next I'd like to introduce and recognize the Teen Advisory Committee. This is a nice group. I'd like to call up Jessica Singletary, Community Services Coordinator with the City of Chino. She's going to help us introduce the teens.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council. We're very proud of all the hard work the committee has done this past year, and we're super excited to be able to recognize them this evening. So first up, we have Sydney Reyes. She is our chairperson for TAC. Next up, we have Adri Villa. She is our secretary for TAC. Manuel Avalos. Haley Ordonez. Elena Rossin. And Sofia Vasquez. So they worked really hard this past year in coming together and figuring out what types of service projects to provide the community. They actually ended up doing 3 this year. They were able to donate used blankets to Priceless Pets in Chino Hills to provide the pets with some warmth during the winter, so they were very proud with that. They also conducted a hygiene drive that benefited the Hope Family Resource Center. With those drives, they also collected monetarily and were able to purchase, and with the donated items, have over 1,000 individual items to provide to the program that went straight back into the community for low-income families. The last service project that they did is coming together as a group. They wanted to be able to support the teens within the community. So with that, with all of their fundraisers throughout the years, they were able to use those funds to be able to sponsor a teen, well, actually 2 teens at Don Lugo High School with prom tickets. So those 2 students were able to attend prom this year because of the efforts that TAC has made throughout the years.
Well, we're very, very fortunate to have such a wonderful group of young people working with the City of Chino, and you give us hope for our future. So keep up the good work. Thank you again. You're welcome. You're welcome. Next, we want to recognize the Chino Police Department Baker to Vegas Challenge Cup Relay Race people. I'd like to call up Chief Simmons of the Chino Police Department, who will introduce the Baker to Vegas participants.
Thank you very much, Mayor. We're extremely proud of this team. They did a fantastic job. And so we've got Sergeant Toby Ravelis. He's our team captain. Officer Corey Friedel, Officer Madeline Briley, Officer Walker Wren, Cadet Jacob Lopez, and Corporal Brendan Rowland. And I'd also like to invite Councilmember Comstock down as part of our support team to join. This team, and along with the rest of them, so for those who don't know, Baker to Vegas is a run through Death Valley that starts in the city of Baker and ends in the city of Las Vegas. It's 120 miles, and it's 20 legs, and so we have 20 relays, and we hand off the baton. This year's relay started off particularly rough at over 95 degrees at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And in fact, at one point in time, they had to stop the race because they ran out of ambulances and air ambulances. So because so many runners went down, I'm grateful to say none of ours did. They did fantastic and placed third in their division. And in fact, if you notice Madeline there, Madeline ran the race in 90-degree heat, 18 weeks pregnant, and did a fantastic job. So extremely proud of her. I'm gonna turn it over to our team captain and let him say a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much more I can say than that. He pretty much described the race, but we thank you for the support, obviously the support of our chief and our command staff and all the employees. It takes definitely a team effort to get it done. This is just 5 of our 20 runners that were able to show up. The other 15 are already training for next year. That's why they couldn't be here. We wanted to bring a mug and also present it to the mayor. That's one of the mugs that we receive when we place. Has third place on the other end. So in recognizing us, I want to kind of flip the script and recognize somebody who supported us when we brought this idea to the department. We understood that the support of our chief and our command staff was very important. And not only did they support us, they also participated by being a runner. So retired Chief Comstock, you can come up. We wanted to do this in 2020. We actually had this made in 2019, but obviously the pandemic put a cancellation to 2020 and 2021's race. But here we are, and we wanted to so this baton we had it engraved with her name and all the stages and years that she ran on our team. So, thank you. There you go.
Well, thank you all very much. Again, we're very proud. The most important thing, we took third place, but we stole Toby from San Bernardino PD, and San Bernardino took 4th place. Yay. So we're extremely proud about that. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for representing the city of Chino in such a wonderful way, and we look forward to the race next year, and maybe you'll come in second or first? Third to first. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oops.
Thank you.
Can't imagine. Thank you. I'd like to ask if there's a representative from Chino Florist here. Apparently not. Okay. They have been selected as the business of the month. Chino Florist and Gifts is a family-run small business serving the Chino Valley and surrounding Inland Empire that specializes in custom creative floral arrangements for celebrations, events, and sympathy. Located on Central Avenue, Chino Florist and Gifts has been a fixture in the community since 1939. As longtime members of the community, Chino Florist and Gifts works with Thinkin' Local, a charity organization that donates a percentage of each sale to fundraisers of the customer's choice. Most of the fundraisers are to the benefit of youth and school extracurricular activities in our Chino Valley and surrounding communities. Let us congratulate Chino Florist and Gifts for providing beautiful flowers, quality gifts, and being our May 2022 Business of the Month recipient. We will be sure that they receive the plaque as a symbol of our appreciation. Next, we have the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for May 2022. I'd like to call up Ronaldo Nicasio of 13452 Joshua Place. Ronaldo and family. Here, come up here. Have a certificate. Thank you for the continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community. You see the picture on the screen of their home. We have a picture of your home. We have 2 lapel pins, one for each of you, 2 pen and pencil sets, and the coveted yard sign. Would you like to say a few words? Who keeps up your house?
Thank you very much for Mayor Eloy and the City Council. This has been really a great honor and privilege to be able to be awarded this Mayor's Home Beautification Award. And we were really surprised when we got that letter advising us that for the month of May, we are the recipient of this award. And it's really a great honor. And we'll try to keep our home beautiful to earn this award. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, prior to starting our council meeting, we had a closed session. I'd like to ask our attorney to read the results of the closed session item, please.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and all of those in attendance. The City Council met in closed session as announced by the Mayor to discuss the single item listed on the closed session portion of the agenda, specifically conference with legal counsel, 1 item of existing litigation entitled Chino Basin Municipal Water District versus City of Chino and additional parties. Following a discussion with Attorney Jimmy Gutierrez, the City Council, by motion of Mayor Pro Tem Lucio, seconded by Council Member Comstock, carried 5-0. The City Council unanimously authorized an appeal of the latest order of the trial court and authorized staff to retain additional legal services as needed to assist. That concludes the announcement of the results of the closed session.
Thank you very much. Acting City Manager Arroyo, do we have any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There are no revisions.
Okay, thank you very much. Included in the packet this evening is the Economic Development Report for May and the citywide legislative policy tracking legislation. Next, under public announcements. First, on Tuesday, May 24th at 6:30, I encourage all registered Chino voters to come out to a Measure Y forum hosted by the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. As a reminder, the Chino City Council has placed a ballot measure, Measure Y, on your June 7th, 2022 statewide primary election ballot. Measure Y looks to approve or deny a two overlay strategy that allows for potential affordable and mixed-use housing. Utilizing this two overlay strategy is necessary for the City of Chino to meet its state-mandated Regional Housing Needs Assessment, or RHNA, allocation, and will enable the city to file a housing element update that is compliant with state law. Measure Y does not affect or change Measure M in any way. The approval or denial of Measure Y will play a critical role in avoiding state penalties and fines. So this public forum on May 24th will help answer any further questions you may have as we head into the June 7th election. For more information, please call 909-627-6177 or visit www.cityofchino.org/Measure Y. Additionally, please note that City Hall will be closed on Monday, May 30th in observation of Memorial Day. City Hall will reopen the following day, Tuesday, May 31st, at its regular operating hours of 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. However, on May 30th, I encourage everyone to come out to the American Legion Post 299 Memorial Day ceremony at the Chino Community Building, located at 5443 B Street at 10 a.m. to honor all those who have sacrificed their lives for our freedoms. For any questions, please call 909-334-3258. And lastly, we sadly will be adjourning in the memory of Rancho Cucamonga City Council member and Fire Board member Sam Smagnola. Sam dedicated his life to public service. As a Navy veteran and 35 years of service with Rancho Cucamonga Fire District, Sam committed more than his fair share to his country and community. But even as he exited these roles, Sam saw a new opportunity to serve his community, which culminated in his election to the Rancho Cucamonga City Council in 2004, with subsequent re-elections in 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020. Sam also committed himself to several charities, nonprofits, and regional or statewide agencies. This included serving as the president of the League of California Cities Inland Empire Division and chair of the Omnitrans Board of Directors. But beyond all these outstanding achievements, in the last remaining months of his life, Sam saw 20 years' worth of work come to fruition as Rancho Cucamonga began to make headway on establishing a 9/11 Memorial Park in their community. In a body of work fully dedicated to public service, we are saddened by Sam's loss, and our prayers go out to the Spagnola family during this very difficult time. Next on the agenda is public communication. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on items that do not appear elsewhere. I'd like to first call up Mr. John Mata of Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley, who's going to lead us in an invocation. I invite all those who would like to join us to please stand.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and City Council members. On behalf of Pastor David Rosales and Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley, thank you for this privilege. Good to see you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for this time that we're able to, as the city's able to give out proclamations and recognitions and awards, Lord. We thank you for this great city of Chino. Lord, we ask that your wisdom and your spirit would be poured into the city council members, Lord, as you direct them and lead in this city, Lord. We thank you for our mayor, and Lord, and for her recovery, Lord. We're thankful that she's here with us this evening, and may you continue to pour your spirit into her, Lord, as she continues to lead this, with many others, lead this city. We lift up our law enforcement officers, our firefighters, our first responders, Lord. May you have your hand of protection upon them, Lord. And we thank you, Lord, for the residents and the families that are represented here this evening. May your hand be continually upon the decisions that are made here, Lord. And may this city always go in the direction that is led by your Spirit. Thank you again for those that are here, for the memorials that were mentioned, Lord, and all the great things that you're doing in this city. May your hand and may your Spirit continue to pour into this city, into our council, and into our mayor, Lord. We thank you for this time. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, next written request to speak is Mr. Zeb Wellborn from the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. Zeb?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Zeb Wellborn. I am the president of the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I feel like I owe you all an apology because I feel like I haven't been here in a while. The main reason for that is we've been working really hard on some big programs at the Chamber and kind of adjusting what we see the future of our Chamber and how we can best support our business community moving forward. So we've implemented this program called Upskill Chino Valley. And it's kind of like I'll call it like a four-pronged approach. It's workforce development. I think we can all recognize that a lot of our businesses are really facing workforce shortage issues right now. On our website right now, we've been proactively working with businesses, identifying who needs to find job opportunities and trying to place people in those roles. So we have about 50 businesses that are on our website alone, and that's just the ones that we have contacted through our membership. So if anybody is in a business that's looking to hire, or we're working to solve that issue, we're doing entrepreneurship development is another piece. As somebody who's born and raised here, I wanted to promote entrepreneurship in the Chino Valley, and that's something that we're working towards with our youth and our local community. We're doing some economic development initiatives, and we are also working on some leadership programming through the Chamber to help support businesses, but also to connect our community with each other. I want to kind of highlight some of those things. As the president of the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce, I was fortunate enough to be chosen by the U.S. Chamber to participate in this workforce development programming because it's something that we're working on. So there are 30 other chamber CEOs across the country that have been invited to participate in this. And the reason why the U.S. Chamber is taking this on is because there is going to be a big workforce. I mean, there already is one, but that's going to continue to expand and grow. And so it's how can communities work to solve this workforce shortage that our businesses are facing. So through that program, we're looking to implement a lot of the things that they've addressed and some things to bring to our community, and making sure that we can create a pipeline of opportunities for youth and for our community to live, work, and play here, not just now, but into the future. And that's the type of program that we're working on. I'll just give an example of one of the things that we've been doing through this. Was it this week? Late last week, we did a teen entrepreneurship fair at Chino Hills High School. So teens from across the district, so both in Chino and Chino Hills, set up booths. They sold their products and services. And I got to tell you, one of the coolest things about doing that was, like, just as an example, there was this gal who, she was in 9th grade. She had written 3 full-fledged novels. I mean, and these things were thick. She was selling those on Amazon through their processing, through their book department as a self-published author. And this is somebody who's in the 9th grade that has done this, So that's like a remarkable thing. The other students there were selling stuff on Etsy. So these kids are already doing entrepreneurship. They're selling their stuff online, and it's a great outlet for those students for us to recognize that there are students in our community, or there are youth in our community that are pursuing entrepreneurship, and how can we help those students be more successful to grow a stronger business community. Another great thing about that is our businesses want to get involved in that type of work, and so our businesses were there supporting those young entrepreneurs, and so the feedback that we got was they sold out of all of their stuff. So I want to thank our businesses for showing up to that too. We are also working on placing people in jobs. So over the last 6 months or so, we were fortunate enough to get a contract with San Bernardino County Workforce Development Board, and we've been pursuing that programming to try and help place people in jobs. So our first job fair, we placed 40 people. So 40 people got jobs here in Chino and Chino Hills. We also hired a workforce development director. So through her, we've found about 100 people jobs in businesses that are here in the Chino Valley that were struggling to find people, and these are also individuals who are struggling to find employment. So we're able to match those two together, and now they've got careers that are here in Chino and Chino Hills, and that's something that we're very proud of and want to continue for the future. I also mentioned some leadership programming. One of the things that I'm hoping that our chamber can help facilitate is just the more collaboration amongst our community. We have a very strong community here in Chino and Chino Hills, and we just want to grow on that collaboration and support with each other by creating opportunities for our leadership in our local businesses to be connected with our community and city and elected officials in a leadership capacity type program. So we are in the process of developing that. One thing we are also doing is these roundtable groups, bringing businesses together to talk about the issues that they're facing. How can we work on solving those? So there's going to be a lot of different versions of that. As an example, we're going to be doing one with the mayor of Chino Hills. We're going to bring businesses together to talk about the issues that the Chino Hills businesses are facing with Chino Hills. I would love to do something like that here too. And then lastly, I got to bring up our normal chamber events. You mentioned the Measure Y thing that we're presenting, so we're working to help bring that to our community. So we encourage you all to go to the Chino Senior Center on May 24th. We have our Taste of the Chino Valley, which is coming up on May 26th. We've got about 22 or 3 restaurants confirmed. It's going to be at the Shops at Chino Hills. And then we have the State of the City for Chino Hills on May 31st, which we're putting on. So a lot of stuff happening in the chambers. That's why I'm missing, but I do have the intention to be here a lot more often moving forward. Thank you all very much.
Well, Zeb, you're doing a wonderful job, and all of those items that you brought up today sound fantastic.
Thank you, Mayor.
A great representation for us.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Those are the only written requests I have to speak. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. I do have a request to pull number 11 for public information. Does anyone wish to have any other items pulled? Okay, if not, then I would entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio. And the balance of the consent calendar passes unanimously. Item number 11 was asked to be pulled by Councilman Pocock for information for the public. Dave, would you like to review that item? It's sale of stored groundwater to the Fontana Water Company.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, members of the council. My name is Dave Crossley. I'm the Utilities Engineering and Operations Manager. This evening, staff is recommending for your approval a transaction that would sell 5,000 acre-feet from the city's groundwater reserves to the Fontana Water Company. In April, the Fontana Water Company contacted the city to request the city's consideration of a possible purchase of city groundwater reserves. Staff evaluated the Fontana Water Company request and determined that the city has ample groundwater reserves to fully satisfy its current needs, and also projects that the city will have sufficient groundwater reserves to satisfy its anticipated future needs. Through a combination of water conservation, including the conversion of some potable water demands to recycled water, and the annual addition of groundwater production rights resulting from urbanization of agricultural lands, the city has been able to accrue groundwater reserves in excess of approximately 135,000 acre-feet. City staff established a price for the potential sale based on staff's review of recent comparable sales in the Chino Basin and on current rates associated with available alternative sources of water. Fontana Water Company has indicated its acceptance of the city-established sales price. If the council approves the proposed sale, then the sale and purchase transaction will be submitted to the Chino Basin Water Master for its review and approval. The Water Master review and approval process is expected to take approximately 2 to 3 months to complete, after which time the city would issue an invoice to the Fontana Water Company. That concludes my report, and I'm happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you very much, Dave. Walt, did you have anything that you wanted to ask?
No, nothing further. Thank you.
Okay, with that, then I would entertain a motion and a second for approval. Motion from Councilman Pocock, second from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio. The item passes unanimously. Next, under public hearings. Item number 12, formation of Improvement Area 10 in Community Facilities District 2003-3. This item is to conduct a public hearing regarding the formation of Improvement Area number 10 in Community Facilities District number 2003-3 in the Preserve. I'd like to declare the public hearing open and request a staff report from Mr. Rob Burns, our Director of Finance.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council.
In April, the City Council adopted Resolution 2022-024, declaring the City of Chino's intent to establish Improvement Area Number 10 within CFD 2003-3 in the preserve. The establishment of this improvement area will allow the city to levy a facilities tax and a services tax. These taxes will be used to pay for the required infrastructure and public services required in the area. Tonight's actions are to adopt the required resolutions for formation of the improvement area, call for a special election, immediately hold the special election, tally the election results, and then approve the introduction of the ordinance to levy the tax. It's recommended that City Council adopt the proceedings as outlined by the mayor this evening. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Do any council members have questions, Mr. Burns? Okay, if not, I would like to ask if the public has any input this evening or would like to ask any questions. Okay, seeing none, then we will close the public hearing. Now, this is the time and the place set for the duly noticed public hearing regarding the proposed establishment of Improvement Area Number 10 within the Community Facilities District Number 2003-3 of the City of Chino, referred to now as the district, and the proposed issuance of bonds of the district on behalf of Improvement Area Number 10. We have declared the public hearing open. There is no members of the public who have wished to speak. We've closed the public hearing. At this time, we're ready to approve the following resolutions. Resolution number 2022-027. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Chino establishing Improvement Area Number 10 of the Community Facilities District Number 2003-3 of the City of Chino, authorizing the levy of special taxes and calling an election herein. And Resolution number 2022-028, Resolution of the City Council of the City of Chino, acting as the legislative body of the Community Facilities District number 2003-3 of the City of Chino, determining the necessity to incur bonded indebtedness within the Improvement Area Number 10 of said Community Facilities District and calling an election therein. I'd like to call for a motion and a second. There's a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio, second from Councilman Flores. Please vote. Okay. The item passes unanimously. The resolutions that we have just adopted established Improvement Area Number 10 within the district, authorizing the levy of special taxes within Improvement Area Number 10 in accordance with the adopted rate and method of apportionment, determine the necessity to incur embodied indebtedness, and call an election within Improvement Area Number 10, which the election is to be held at this time by the City Clerk. Angela.
Thank you, Mayor. All ballots have been cast in connection with the election for Improvement Area Number 10 of CFD number 2003-3 of the City of Chino, and the election has now been closed. The results of the election were unanimous, 21 votes in favor of all propositions. Thank you.
Having heard the statement of the City Clerk certifying the results of the election, I will now entertain a motion to adopt Resolution number 2022-029, Resolution of the City of Chino of the City Council of the City of Chino, acting in its capacity as the legislative body of the Community Facilities District number 2003-3 of the City of Chino on behalf of Improvement Area Number 10 therein, certifying the results of the May 17, 2022 special tax and bond elections. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio. The item passes unanimously. With respect to authorizing the levy of a special tax within Improvement Area Number 10, I will now entertain a motion to approve the introduction of ordinance number 2022-008. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio, second by Councilman Flores. Item passes unanimously. This concludes this public.
I'm sorry, if I may read the title of the ordinance, Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No sweat. It's procedurally appropriate
Running along.
for the counting of the votes. Before the City Council is ordinance number 2022-008, 008, entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, acting in its capacity as the legislative body of Community Facilities District Number 2003 of the City of Chino on behalf of Improvement Area Number 10 therein, authorizing the levy of a special tax within Improvement Area Number 10 of the district. That's reading by title only and waiving further reading. Thank you, Mayor.
And the item did pass unanimously. Okay, this concludes the public hearing and the CFD formation. Next on the agenda under new business, item number 13, Professional Services Agreement, Community Facilities District Project Management and other related services. This item is to approve the Professional Services Agreement with DTA for Community Facilities District Project Management and other engineering-related services. Staff report this evening will be provided by our Associate Engineer, Sylvia Ramos.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. Development Services oversees the program management and construction administration of the various public improvements associated with community facility districts, known as CFDs, and the Development Impact Fee Program, also known as the DIF. Currently, the city consults with David Tosick and Associates, DTA, for the review of various payment requests received by the city from developers for public improvements paid for through CFD bond proceeds and the DIF program. The existing professional services agreement with DTA expires on June 30th, 2022. So consequently, this city staff prepared a request for proposal, which was published on the Planet Bids on March 17th, 2022. The city only received one proposal from DTA. DTA has the extensive knowledge of the city's various programs and currently provides engineering services for the existing and ongoing projects in the city. Staff is proposing to continue its services with DTA to maintain consistency and the timely delivery of these project management services. Therefore, it's staff's recommendation to the City Council to approve an agreement with DTA in the amount of $265,000. It should be further noted that funds are contingent upon the budget adoption scheduled on June 21st, 2022. The initial term of the agreement will begin on July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, with the option to extend 2 additional one-year periods. That concludes my presentation, and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, do any council members have any questions of Sylvia? Okay, are there any questions from the public or comments? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion and a second to approve item number 13. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio. Item passes unanimously. Item number 14, Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program, San Bernardino County Fire Protection District. This item is to approve an agreement with the San Bernardino County Fire Protection District Household Hazardous Waste Services over a 5-year period, not to exceed $577,236.55. Staff report this evening will be provided by our Environmental Coordinator, Ruben Valdez.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council, and audience. The California Public Resources Code requires cities and counties to prepare a household hazardous waste element, which identifies a program for the safe collection, recycling, treatment, and disposal of hazardous waste, which are generated by households in the city or county and which should be separated from the solid waste stream. San Bernardino County and each of the cities in the county have developed household hazardous waste elements, which identify a countywide cooperative program for the management of household hazardous waste. The existing household hazardous waste program operated by the San Bernardino County Fire Protection District is consistent with the adopted household hazardous waste element. The city desires for the protection, health, and welfare of the public and its personnel, the removal of hazardous waste from homes so that such materials may pose no danger in the event of a fire, the prevention of potential environmental degradation, and the conservation of resources through recycling. Since 1991, the city of Chino has participated in the San Bernardino County Fire Protection District Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program. This partnership between the city and the county ensures the community continues to have a safe and convenient disposal of household hazardous waste and assists the city in meeting state requirements for waste diversion. The existing household hazardous waste contract authorizes the county to transport and dispose of the waste received at the Chino facility from participants, as well as to train city employees with initial and refresher training related to the collection of the waste. The county maintains expertise on the regulatory issues, acts as the legal generator and transporter of the waste, and assumes responsibility for maintaining the necessary site permits. It is staff's recommendation to enter into a new 5-year agreement with San Bernardino County Fire Protection District for a total amount not to exceed $577,236.55, broken up into 5 yearly payments, which includes a yearly discount of $13,200 to cover city staffing costs to operate the household hazardous waste collection facility. The first payment for fiscal year 2022-23 will be $106,741.73. These costs are paid through the sanitation fund as a separate budgeted expenditure. Sufficient funds are included in fiscal year 22-23 waste management services budget. This concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Council members have any questions of Ruben?
The only question I have is, we have listed electronics, so I know they take TVs. How big of TVs do they take at this disposal site?
We've taken TVs as large as, I mean, right now the current TVs that are coming in are, the typical flat screen TVs, but at one point, we were taking in the big pizza parlor type of TVs, the ones that seemed like they were inside of a cabinet. So we've taken large TVs. Amongst TVs, we take all sorts of other electronics as well, as long as they're generated from the household.
Okay, thank you.
Any members of the public have any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion and a second to approve item number 14.
Mayor, I have just one comment, I'm sorry.
Karen?
Sir, could you talk a little bit more about where this program is located? This is one of the things you see driving around town where you see people sometimes discard paint or oil, and I think perhaps there's a lot of naivety out there still about the ability of local residents to take these things to the city yard and have it safely disposed of, so we don't have to dispatch our staff to do it. Our staff will go out and pick it up after it's rendered safe by the fire department sometimes if we don't know what it is. And along, I know you don't take bulk waste here, but there's ways to dispose of those things, and I know we have it on the website and different things, but could you cover the location, just a few of those things tonight before we vote on it?
Of course. So the city's household hazardous waste collection facility is located at the city services yard, 5050 Schaefer Avenue. Its hours of operation are the second and fourth Saturday of every month, with the exception of the fourth Saturday in December. The hours are 8 to 1 p.m. And it's an event where we take not only again electronics, but we'll take any household generated motor oil, antifreeze, gasoline, household batteries, paints, paint thinners, antifreeze, fertilizers. So we take a large amount of different types of household generated waste, and it definitely helps out the community because I think it provides a resource for our community to properly dispose of unwanted household generated waste or hazardous waste. From time to time, our staff does respond to illegally dumped items in alleys or the streets, but this is an avenue for proper disposal of that material.
And it's at no cost to our residents, as well as these are things we definitely don't want people to put in our trash cans because our waste hauler doesn't want it in there because it's toxic. So thank you for that, sir.
Correct. And on top of that, residents don't have to even unload. We do all of the unloading. The only thing they have to do is just pull up, and we'll unload everything for them.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay. I'd ask for a motion and a second. Motion from Councilman Florist, second from Councilperson Comstock. Item passes unanimously. Item number 15, approve a construction contract change order, off-site dual 6-inch diameter brine line discharge line, East Side Water Treatment Facility Expansion Project, WA19C. This item is to approve a construction contract change order in the amount of $377,682.67 to North Star Plumbing and Engineering Incorporated for the off-site dual 6-inch diameter brine line disposal pipeline for the East Side Water Treatment Facility, and approve an increase to the project contingency. Staff report this evening will be provided by our Associate Engineer, Natalie Avila.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, and members of the audience. For your consideration this evening is a contract change order to North Star Plumbing and Engineering Incorporated in the amount of $377,682.67. The city entered into an agreement with North Star on July 6, 2021, for the construction of the off-site dual brine line to convey the brine waste from the east side water treatment facility. City staff anticipated construction contingencies for the unforeseen conditions. However, during the construction activities of the dual brine line pipelines, the contractor encountered soils along Merrill Avenue that were determined by the geotechnical engineer to be unsuitable material to backfill the pipeline trench. It was determined that the unsuitable material would have to be hauled to a proper disposal site, and the contractor would need to import crushed miscellaneous base material. Consequently, the contractor removed and hauled the unsuitable material and backfilled the 4,210 linear feet of pipeline trench with the CMB material. All the quantities of this unforeseen construction activity were tracked and summarized into one contract change order. Staff is requesting an additional $166,255.20 to cover the shortfall of the available funds to process the change order and accommodate potential future and unanticipated work items. Therefore, staff recommends increasing the authorized construction contingency to 20%, resulting in an increase of $166,255.20. Additionally, staff recommends that the City Council approve this construction change order to North Star Plumbing and Engineering Incorporated in the amount of $377,682.67. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Natalie. Any questions from the council members? Any questions or information from the public? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion and a second. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Votem Lucio. Item passes unanimously. Item number 16, amendment to reimbursement agreement and award of construction contract for the relocation of utilities in the Prado Dam inundation area. This item is to approve amendment number 1 to the reimbursement agreement with Orange County Flood Control District and award a contract to CP Construction Corp. Company Incorporated, Upland, California, in the amount of $392,700 for project number 4215, watertight sewer manhole and streetlight connections retrofit project at various locations in Prado Basin. Staff report this evening will be provided by our CIP Engineering Manager, Maria Frazier.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, and audience. The item for your consideration tonight is the award of a contract to retrofit infrastructure that will be affected during the raising of the El Prado Dam project, and amendment to the reimbursement agreement with Orange County Flood Control. On December 21st, 2021, the City Council approved a reimbursement agreement with Orange County Flood Control for retrofitting the infrastructure within El Prado Dam inundation area. The agreement outlined that Orange County Flood Control will be responsible for all the costs and expenses of the infrastructure affected by this project. The agreement at the time was based on estimated cost. The project was advertised on January 26, 2022, and on February 22, the city received one bid. Staff considered that the bid was non-responsive since the contractor failed to resubmit the required bid packet documents. And on March 15, 2022, council rejected the bid and authorized staff to rebid the project. Staff rebid the project on March 16, 2022, and on April 5th, the city received one bid. CP Construction, Inc. from Upland was deemed to be the lowest and most responsive bidder with a base bid in the amount of $392,700. The construction bid and related expenses resulted in a cost that exceeded those outlined in the original agreement with Orange County Flood Control, and this triggered the amendment of the agreement. Staff is therefore recommending that City Council approves the staff report with the recommendations indicated. This concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Maria, I have a question.
Yes.
CP Construction was the original bidder on this project,
Yes,
and it was rejected.
Yes.
Then they rebid. Did they just update the packet to include what they had missed the first time it submitted?
Correct. And in addition to that, the bids came out a little bit lower as well.
Oh, interesting. So there was nobody else interested in this project?
Nobody else.
Interesting. Any questions or comments from council members?
Yeah, Maria, any reason why you think that nobody else would have been interested in this project?
I think that a lot of the contractors are really busy right now, and they're just kind of really picking what they want to bid on. Coincidentally, this contractor is currently working on Benson Avenue on our storm drains, so they probably thought this is good because they're already in the area and they're already sort of mobilized. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that the bids came out a little bit lower, because they're already in the area. I'm just assuming.
Okay. Any other council comments, questions? Any comments or questions from the audience? Okay, seeing none, then I need a motion and a second to approve item number 16. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio, second from Councilman Flores. Item passes unanimously. Item number 17, award of contract MS-202 and ST-221, Chino Avenue and Norton Avenue Accessibility Improvement Project. Award of contract to EBS General Engineering Incorporated Corona in the amount of $446,249 for project number MS-202 and ST-221. Again, Chino Avenue and Norton Avenue Accessibility Improvement. Staff report will be provided once again by our CIP Engineering Manager, Maria Frazier.
The second item from Public Works for your consideration tonight is the award of the contract to construct improvements along Chino Avenue, which is project MS-202, which requires the reconstruction of curb ramps at 16th, 17th, and 19th. And the Northern Avenue cul-de-sac project, ST-221, which entails the construction of sidewalk and curb ramp. The intent of these two projects is to provide a safe and compliant route for our residents. These are two separate projects, but were combined and advertised as one project in order to obtain better pricing. So on April 4th, 2022, staff advertised the project for construction, and on April 26th, 2022, we received 4 bids. The summary of the results are included in your staff report. EBS General Engineering from Corona was deemed to be the lowest responsive and responsible bidder with a base bid amount of $446,249. This project is expected to be completed by the end of August. Therefore, staff recommendation that council approves the staff report with the recommendations indicated. This completes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any comments or questions from council members? Comments or questions from the audience? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion and a second. Moved by Councilman Flores, second by Councilperson Comstock. Item passes unanimously. Okay, next on the agenda is mayor and council reports. It was a rather busy 2 weeks. On May 4th, virtually attended the Omnitrans Board of Directors meeting. On May 5th, I attended the Inland Empire National Day of Prayer breakfast that was held in Ontario by about 500 people. That afternoon, virtually attended the IEUA Sewage Policy Committee meeting. On the 6th of May, I attended the senior birthday event with Councilman Pocock. And then that afternoon, we also interviewed Sonia Shaw, who is a candidate for the Chino Unified School District Board of Directors. On May 9th, Mayor Pro Tem Lucio and I conducted city manager interviews of 3 candidates. On May 10th, met with a new water attorney, Keith Lemieux, who is with our current city manager or city attorney's firm. He's very versed in water law and will be shadowing our current attorney who has been with us for years and years and years. It's time that we start kind of ensuring that we have somebody fill the shoes of people who may end up eventually retiring. That afternoon, we all attended a Civic Center workshop also. May 12th, I attended the CDA Board of Directors meeting. And today, prior to our meeting tonight, we had a workshop on the remodel of the administration area and also a review of the 2020-2021 council goals. That's all I have for this evening. Mayor Pro Tem Lucio, you have item number 18, which is community support contribution.
Yes, I'd like to ask for the approval of community support funds to be contributed to the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation, to the You Choose Positive Youth, to the American Little League of Chino, to the Chino Pop Warner football team, the Chino Girls Fast Pitch Softball, to the boosters at Chino High School, specifically to the wrestling team, and to the Rancho del Chino Rotary Club.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Flores, second from myself, and the item passes unanimously. Balance of your report, please.
Yes, on May 4th, I attended the Civic Center Master Plan workshop that we had. On May 5th, I attended, May 5th and 6th, I attended the SCAG Regional Conference for 2022. It was the first time we had it in a couple of years due to COVID. One of the things that they were highlighting was a lot of renewable energy. We were showcasing a lot of electric cars. Also, they were talking about, one of the things I didn't know, but we found out there at the conference is the Salton Sea has one of the largest concentrations of lithium. And their goal is to start mining the lithium and producing batteries for electric cars and different things so that they're produced here in the United States as opposed to China. So they're foreseeing that once that gets going, there's going to be a lot of jobs and a lot of high-paying jobs that are going to be going to that region, which will be revitalizing that area. But they're excited about it, and I mean, if that is true and that's the direction that we're going to be going to, I think that's going to bring a lot of opportunities for the Inland Empire, especially out there in the Coachella Valley. On the 7th, I attended the City Hall on the Move over at Stater Brothers. It was a decent turnout. Obviously, people, I don't think a lot of people knew we were going to be there, but the people that were there came by, stopped by, said hi. Obviously, they always seem to thank our police officers for the job that they do, so it's always good to see that they appreciate the service that they get from our police officers. On May 9th, I attended a meeting with the city manager. Later on that day, we had a meeting with the industrial overlay discussion on how we're going to do some of the different things to some of the buildings that we're going to do within, I guess that's going to be north of Schaefer Avenue. So some of the areas that are kind of touching some of our communities or some of our residential areas. We weren't focusing anything down on the south side where we have a lot of industrial already zoned, but we were primarily concerned with some of the areas that are right around our residential areas so that if they get developed, that the plans are a little different, that they have more setbacks so that it's a little bit more friendly towards the residents so that they're not so impacted. Later on that afternoon, I conducted meetings with, or I should say interviews for the city manager position. We interviewed 3 potential city managers. On the 10th, I had lunch with Ben Lopez from Montclair. Later on that afternoon, I had a meet and greet with our ADA attorney, Michael Marr. And later on, after that, we had a Civic Center Master Plan workshop that I attended. And on the 11th, I attended a Measure Y discussion. And I do want to thank our Public Works. You guys are at the forefront. When our trees fall, you guys are there to pick them up. Whenever there's floods, you guys are there to obviously open up our streets. So you guys are the ones that, you know, when things are going good, nobody says anything or thanks you guys. But when things go bad, you guys are the ones that everybody blames. but you guys do a great job. I mean, here, unfortunately, when we get hit hard, but you guys always step up and answer that call, so I appreciate that. Obviously, if the community come out for the Memorial Day ceremony, it's going to be at the community center. It's always a great time. It's always good to see our youngsters that participate in the ceremony, and then also to recognize the people that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. I also want to congratulate Tom's Burgers for opening up. It's been a long time coming, but I saw some of the social media posts that they're open, so I'm excited for them. I'm also looking forward to Cane's. Cane's is one of my favorite restaurants, and I can't wait till they open up on the, I think it's the 24th. They're going to have their grand opening, so I'm looking forward to that. And also, Mayor, I just want to point out something you may not be aware of, but that mug there, every category has a certain number of teams, and then they only mug half of those teams that. So if you have 20 teams participating in a category, they only mug the first 10. Oh. And I can tell you, in all my time, I never ran on a team that was fast enough to get a mug. But we do have 3 mugs in our house. Unfortunately, they're my wife's because she ran on faster teams. But just be aware that that is special to have, because not everybody that runs on that race actually gets a mug. But that's all I have, and I'll hand it over.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you very much. Councilmember Comstock.
Thank you, Mayor. On May 4th, I also attended the workshop that we had here at the council chambers regarding the Civic Center master plan. That's already been covered. On May 5th, I attended Sergeant Ken MacGyver's Walk of Honor at the Chino Police Department. Chief, that was a great event. Great job by you. Great job by all the speakers that were there. And very happy for Kendall and his many years of service. I'd like to tell people I've known Kendall since day one. I actually took him to Greenwood's uniforms to help him get his uniforms as a police cadet. So happy for him and his family. Great turnout by not just our department employees, but also retirees. Congratulations, Sergeant MacGyver, on your well-earned retirement. On May 9th, I also attended the industrial overlay discussion, which the Mayor Pro Tem has discussed well. It's part of our efforts to continue to provide an appropriate buffer to industrial manufacturing as our city continues to grow in development to residential areas, which has been a subject of discussion by a lot of people that I've met since I've been elected to the council. So thank you to staff for working on those additional revisions to our ordinance. Later that day, I actually had lunch with Chief Simmons, and just, in my continuous effort to have lunch with different department directors and just see how things are going. So thank you, Chief, for that. I also, on the 10th, had the meet and greet with our new ADA attorney, Michael Maurer from BB&K. And then later that day, I attended the Civic Center Master Plan workshop here in the council chambers, which that is all very exciting, news and work for our city. And I'm excited to see that project through to its fruition. On the 16th, I attended a budget update here at City Hall, along with our Director of Finance, Rob Burns, as well as our interim city manager. Shortly thereafter, I attended a Measure Y discussion with a firm that the city has hired as a public education measure in order to explain to the public the importance of Measure Y and to help them make an informed decision before they go to the ballot box. Then later that day, I had lunch with our Director of Development Services, Nick Ligori, so that was nice. Thank you, Nick. I enjoyed that. And then today, I attended the council workshop here earlier this afternoon regarding the administrative department office remodel, closed session, and the council meeting tonight. I want to congratulate everybody here that received proclamations, mental health, Public Works. Again, my thanks to Public Works. I will see you at the luncheon this Thursday to honor you. Thank you to the PD for cooking for them. I can't say enough about what our Public Works Department does for us. Everything. You probably the way that you would really best to state this is if our Public Works employees didn't exist, between roads and trash and sewer and water and different things, then you would see the complaints pile up. So thank you to the great job that they do. I do have a couple things from staff and speaking with some residents this past week. Chief, I got a complaint. We have this ongoing complaint down off of the Saddlewood Housing Complex where we have some of our unsheltered population get in there between right by Highway 71 down off the cul-de-sac off a Wagon Wheel. I've gotten a couple complaints about that activity reoccurring, as well as some of the fencing that occasionally gets torn down as those people trespass in those areas. I don't know what entities are responsible for some of those fencing, but I assured the resident that you would look into it, as well as the same resident for our Public Works employees talked about some chunks of road and some potholes being pretty severe on Chino Avenue on the south side, right by the cul-de-sac of Branding Iron. So if staff could look into that. And then last but not least, for Dr. Reich, when I passed by Heritage Park and I see some of our Community Services commissioners are here tonight, the grass at Heritage Park is in areas pretty dead. Some large patches. I don't know if you're aware of that, if there's a sprinkler issue, but if you've been informed of it, my apologies for the repeat notification. And then last, Mayor, I thought it was really cool for the Baker to Vegas team to give you a mug. Those are highly treasured. It's a long drive home for Vegas. If you don't get a mug, by the way, it's a long, depressing drive home. So how nice of the team to bring you a mug. And I know the team's really proud, and I think they can put a first-place team up next year. They can certainly do it now that I'm not running for them any longer, put it that way.
Yeah, but you'll be there as support, right?
Yes. Begrudgingly, yes. I think it's actually harder to run that support van than it is to actually run a leg. But yes, the team will always have my support. There's a lot of retirees that support the team, and I just want to thank the Baker to Vegas team tonight for my baton. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and that concludes my report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Flores.
Yes, hi, City of Chino. May 4th, I attended a meeting with St. Margaret Mary Catholic Church. Just had a discussion about how the Catholic Church and the City of Chino can partner together. On the 5th of May, I attended the Civic Center Master Plan Q&A and also the National Day of Prayer. On the 6th of May, I attended along with Councilmember Walt Pocock, we attended the Chaffey College Chino Instructional Building groundbreaking. And on that same day, attended the Corporate Challenge closing ceremonies. On the 7th of May, attended the City Hall on the move event over at Stater Brothers. On the 10th, had a meeting with our ADA attorney, Michael Marr, and on that same day, attended our Civic Center Master Plan workshop. Today, I had the opportunity to meet with a former NBA player by the name of Tony Farmer. He has hopes and dreams of opening a junior NBA league here in the city. So I think that's going to shine some really good light if that does, if that does pass. But there are some issues they got to get over, and hopefully we can get over those. A big part of him wanting to open this up is obviously to focus on the youth, especially the youth who have mental health issues. And I let him know I thought quite the perfect timing since it is National Mental Health Awareness Month. You see some of the council members and other people up here wearing our green pins today that was provided to us, and that's just, again, just a form of awareness for National Mental Health Awareness. I really wanted to attend the event, our Chino Bike Day on the 14th, and our Chino Valley Historical Society's 95th Annual Pioneer Picnic on the 15th. Didn't have a chance to. I actually had the opportunity to attend a friend's graduation in Kansas, so I was gone for about 6 or 7 days, and I had a friend. She graduated with a PhD in philosophy. And it was a pretty exciting graduation. On my flight back, I want to lighten up the mood here a little bit. I met a gentleman, and I kind of shared the story in the back, but I met a gentleman who, when I meet people, I try to meet 5 new people a day, and one of the biggest questions I ask is, what's been the most exciting thing that's happened in your life? And everybody shares something different. And I asked this one guy I met at the airport, and he told me that the most exciting thing that's ever happened to his life was meeting his wife. And I thought that was fascinating and interesting. He said, when I met my wife, the reason why that was the most exciting thing that happened to me is because, she turned me into a millionaire. And I thought, wow. And he proceeded to say, I used to be a multimillionaire. Now I'm just a millionaire. So I thought that was fascinating. And I recommend you guys ask that question. You never know what kind of responses you would get from people you meet. That being said, I look forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully I see everybody, all of the city of Chino on Tuesday, May 24th at our 6:30 Measure Y forum. At least for myself, I'm of the belief that, you know, if this does pass, it will serve as an incentive for some of our property owners in the city of Chino to develop differently. And particularly, what I'm really focusing on is, you know, the property over on Central and Walnut Avenue, the Franklin Center there. I'm a big advocate of changing that corner, and hopefully with this passing, if it does pass rather, you know, it does incentivize that particular property owner to, you know, make some changes there. But with that being said, thank you all for listening.
Chris, you always are delightful. Councilman Pocock, you have item number 19, a community support contribution.
Yes, I do. Thank you. I would like community support fund contributions to Chino Police Officers Association of $600, Chino Fire Foundation of $600, and the Chino Youth Museum of $700. That's my total contributions.
Entertain a motion and a second. Moved by Councilman Flores, second by Councilperson Comstock. Item passes unanimously. Balance of your report, please.
Thank you. On the 4th, I attended the Civic Center Master Plan Workshop. And on the 5th, I attended Kendall MacGyver Retirement Walk, which was very well attended. He's a very popular young man. And on the 5th, later that day, I welcomed the residents here to the National Day of Prayer out here on the front lawn, and it was very well attended. On the 6th, I attended a senior birthday party with the mayor. Also on the 6th, I attended Chaffey College groundbreaking with Councilman Flores, and Brianna put our picture on the front page of the paper. Thank you. And then I attended the Corporate Challenge closing ceremonies. And on the 7th, I attended City on the Move at Stater Brothers with our Councilman Mark. And then on the 10th, I met ADA attorney Moore, met with him, and also the Civic Center Master Plan Workshop. On the 11th, I attended the Chino Cultural Foundation meeting. On the 12th, the Major Y, I met with Mayor Anthony, I get it tangled up on names. Our city manager, Anthony, and the consultants on Major Y, and also the strategic plan met with PD. On the 15th, I attended the Pioneer Picnic. On the 16th, I attended the Planning Commission meeting last night. And this evening, we attended the remodeling workshop. And I also like to remind everyone that on the 30th of this month is a Memorial Day celebration, or a Memorial Day event at 10 o'clock at the Chino Community Building at 5443 B Street, and starts at 11 o'clock. Thank you.
I think it starts at 10.
Okay, then I'm correct, it starts at 10.
Okay, thank you. City Manager Arroyo, anything this evening?
Thank you, Mayor. There's nothing to report.
City Attorney Galante?
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to highlight one case that came down from the U.S. Supreme Court. The last time I spoke, I said it's unusual that the Supreme Court of the United States issues an opinion that directly impacts city regulations. Well, they did it again this month, so I thought I would just give a brief overview. The case is the City of Austin versus Reagan National Advertising of Austin. What is interesting about this is the city, as do various cities, including the city of Chino, regulate what are called on-premises signs differently than off-premises signs. So an on-premise sign is, you know, the gas station has their sign that advertises a particular gas station. off-premises sign is a typical billboard that advertises any products or services not tied to where the actual sign is located. The city of Austin prohibited the billboard companies that operate off-premises billboards from converting to digital displays. And they sued the city of Austin, saying that distinction, allowing on-premises sign operators to convert their displays to digital and not allowing the off-premises sign operators to convert their signs, violated their First Amendment rights, and it was a content-based regulation. Trial court agreed with the city and said that's an appropriate distinction. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals reversed and said the city's ordinance is inappropriate insofar as it makes that distinction. Supreme Court of the United States reversed and basically upheld the regulation and that distinction. What I find to be important is that had the Supreme Court agreed with the Fifth Circuit and found the ordinance to be invalid, virtually every city, including Chino, would have had to change their ordinance to align the off-premise sign regulations with on-premise sign regulations. But the Supreme Court essentially thought that distinction is content neutral. It didn't matter really what was said on the billboard. It was really just the location and the manner and time, place, manner, which doesn't have as high, it's not subject to as heightened of scrutiny when you're making that distinction. So we don't have to amend our ordinances, which is the good news, but it was a fairly significant decision that allows that distinction.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
Chief Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. And just want to remind our community that we're still experiencing a problem with catalytic converter thefts, as is the rest of the nation. But I am pleased to report this past week we arrested 4 suspects for stealing catalytic converters. And I want to remind the community that you can get your catalytic converter etched here in the city of Chino. There's 7 different businesses that will do it for free for our residents. Those are listed on our social media pages. And that allows us to then get that back to the person who lost it once it was stolen. Much easier to put that back on. In fact, this last arrest we had, they were carrying it out of a motel wrapped in a blanket. Not too hidden. Figure out what it was they were carrying. That helps us get it back to the person who it was stolen from, and then also to help convict that person because now we have a named victim. The other thing I want to remind our community is, as we're starting to move into summer, getting closer to 4th of July, the only fireworks that are allowed in the city of Chino are safe and sane, and those are only allowed the 3 days prior to the 4th of July, not all year round. We are still active, and we're out there looking for people selling illegal fireworks, and in fact, our team made 2 arrests today and took 300 pounds of illegal fireworks off the street. So don't bring illegal fireworks to the city of Chino, and don't use anything other than safe and sane except right before the 4th of July. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
I have a question of you. Have we now gotten all of the city vehicle catalytic converters etched?
I was told they're in the process of it, but I haven't heard the conclusion of it. But yeah, it is something they're working on.
Because that was a little embarrassing.
Yes, and we do have over, I believe, at least over 100 vehicles just at the police department. So citywide, I know we have a lot. But
so here we start the program, and then we get hit, and none of ours are etched. It's like, oh no, okay. Well, thank you for the report.
It was. What was the outcome of your last DUI checkpoint?
So my recollection was they made 4 arrests on that one. Let me pull it up really quick. I've got it right here. Bear with me just a sec. There we go. Okay. getting to it, I promise. So four drivers were arrested for DUI on Friday, May 6th, and that occurred in the area of Riverside and 3rd Street. Anything else? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Fire Department report. Carlos.
Good evening, Mayor Uola, council, staff, and community members. Well, officially it's wildland fire season and it's upon us. Temperatures for the month were 5 degrees higher than normal, and a strong upper level high pressure over California brought record heat to much of Southern California in April and May. So as we all have seen, fires start earlier due to dry fuel moistures. The Chino Valley Fire District encourages residents to continue weed maintenance, including combustible clearance around structures. As many of you know, CVFD firefighters have been dispatched to New Mexico with the OES strike team for 2 weeks. Significant fires in the state have prompted state officials to request out-of-state assistance from the California Office of Emergency Services. Our firefighters have been out for 2 weeks, and they could probably be out there for another 2 to 3 weeks. So it just depends on what's going on over there. So they started in Las Vegas, New Mexico. I never knew it was Las Vegas, New Mexico. Now they're in Santa Fe. So that's where they're at now. The Chino Valley Fire District has completed firefighter paramedic testing and has 8 candidates going through the remaining process. And just today, we interviewed for a lead mechanic and a fire equipment mechanic. The two will move to the next phase of hiring process. And the Chino Valley Fire Foundation's 13th annual Hot Rod and Motorcycle Show will be this Saturday at the shops in Chino Hills, starting at 10 o'clock and concluding at 2 o'clock. Proceeds from the entry fees go to community programs such as Make a Child Smile, Adopt a Family, the AED Trauma Kit, or Heart Safe and Bleed Safe community programs, to name a few. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you.
As a reminder, we are adjourning in memory of Sam Spagnolo. Our next regular meeting will be our next meeting will be our City Council Budget Workshop on Thursday, May 19th at 2 p.m. in these council chambers. Our next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 7th at 7 p.m. with closed session starting at 6 if necessary. With that, we are adjourned.